Hi, Senem, and welcome to the Festival dei Popoli, and welcome to this space, this interview, this chat with you, to introduce your film, Turkish Riviera. And, well, I would like to ask you, to start, something about the first sequence, the first images of your film that are from a VHS tape recording. And so when we audience saw something like that, we started to think this is a film about memory. But your statement is something different, because you started to talk about identity. That is obviously related to the problem of memory, but it's something different. So I would like to ask you something about these particular images, the statement that we listen to your voice, so that's very clear, the position of the film, the subjectivity of the so this is a way to create the form of the film just in the first sequence. And I would like to know more about this decision. How do you go to this way?
Yeah, it wasn't clear from the beginning that I was going to use this home video, footage that my uncle and aunt shot during when I was little. So I got it from them, and but I knew that this footage existed. And I don't know, during this whole process of trying to find out what identity is, or for me is at least, and it was a process that was really closely accompanied with the production, shooting, and post-production of the film. At some point I realized that it's a lot about this projections onto something, like especially when you have an identity that you can't really live in that sense, that you're not in that country, for example, or like when you live in a diaspora, then there's a lot of memory that you sometimes don't even know is yours or somebody else's. And I think these images were kind of a vehicle to transport that there's something else that's not quite yours, but you have to live with it in a way, and it's also a place of longing. And I think that's why I also chose these images for the first shots, because it's the reminder of, or the hope or longing for a place of a wholeness. And but that can never well, I don't want to spoil it.
No.
But yeah, I think, I don't know if that answers your question, but this was kind of the process.
Yes, you answered the question, and it comes another one related to the first one, because you said in a way that the problem of identity is related to the problem of the not only of geography, but the position in which you feel to belong, to stay. It's so the title and the images of the seashore, of the sea, of the Riviera, it's constantly present in your film, in winter, in summer, in different times. So it's like a rhythmic image in which you talk about the problem of identity. And this is, well, it's related to the VHS recorded images, because there are images of the seashore, but it's another way to relate to connect the problem of identity to a place. A place that is open, that is not without borders in a way. This is not very definite. I ask you if you are agree with this.
Yeah, I mean, in my case, definitely. I want to say that, of course, there's so many viewpoints on identity and what identity is. I mean, it's a super complex topic, and that's only my approach to it, especially in this well, historical context that my family immigrated to Germany, and there's a lot of layers culturally and historically that add to that. So for creating this certain type of Turkish German identity. So for me, like coming back to your question, for me, it's definitely related to this place. And it was interesting during this filming process because I've never been to Turkey like in all the other seasons. I only been there in summer, like because it's the thing, you have a summer holiday and then you go visit your family and that's what you do. But only growing up and like having some sort of agency or yes, as an adult person, you start to schedule your own visits and your own approach to this place that is also a home to you and has become more of a home because my parents went back to that place. And it was very interesting to see the seasons actually. And the snow it was a very rare occasion. I mean, it was January when I shot that. I think 2018, I'm not sure, or 19, but it was very, very rare. And the people were like freaking out. They were like, it hasn't been snowing here since the 90s. And yeah, it was a gift actually that I could see that. And it was really, truly magical because for me, it kind of showed that also this approach to identity and place and where you want to live. I mean, it's not definite. You can always change it in a way. And I didn't really consider that before, I must say, to be honest.
Okay, but in a way, this is a way to draw a journey to time and space, in which the relation with your family is very important. And a curiosity about the way you filmed them is in many cases you filmed them and recorded the interview separately, so we saw them speak, but we don't hear their voices, but we heard in voiceover the interview. There is a separation between the visibility and what we heard. So I will ask you why you shoot this particular format.
Yes, it was a bit like it derived from the technical circumstance that I shot with the Bolex camera. I don't know if I can explain like briefly what it is. It's a very small camera and it has no electricity in it. It just works mechanically, and you just have to wind it up, and then it shoots 20 seconds of film, and then you have to like a clock wind it up again. And it's and I used it because I had worked with it before on little experimental projects, and I wanted to use that kind of format to somehow capture what I was looking for. And at the beginning of the project, I didn't really know what I was looking for. I just knew that I have to shoot something there because, you know, sometimes you're not really aware of your process in a way, and this was definitely the case with this film. So I started to shoot on the Bolex, and it has no sound. So you have to rethink the whole sound image situation, and it's not even really possible to sync it because it's not it doesn't go perfect FPS all the time. So that's the circumstance. And then I started to and at first I didn't want to do interviews. I didn't want to do it like that we know a lot of things about you know, the history of how people came to Germany, or you know, the circumstances. But I felt like at some point it was a bit too artistic for me, because I thought I didn't want to create so many blank spaces, because actually I think it's a very important piece of the society I'm living in, and I wanted people to understand what it is about. And that's when I started to record the interviews. and we tried it out, and it was always kind of this, will that work? I mean, do people accept that they never really see synced images, you know, that is always kind of two different layers going against each other? And it always somehow worked out. I don't know why that is. I can't really tell you, but most of the audience, they accepted that. And I think it adds up a little bit to this being separated and kind of, I don't know, yeah, that you have this, you fragmented identity or self, or however you want to call it.
In a way, it's my subjective impression. It's a way to give shape to this journey into time and space, to separate the body and the voice in a way, because it's different times of the. But it's my impression.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
and this journey, this film is very personal in a way, and very universal or collective in another way. At the beginning of your film, there are archive images from the first, for example, from the first wave of Turkish immigrant in Germany. And so I would like to ask you if this particular balance between personal and universal is something you decide to go more in the personal way, with the personal gates. But if you thought about this possibility to have more archive images, more
sure. I mean, there were edits where I had much more archive, and I have also researched much more archive material. And yeah, but at some point, I don't know, it didn't work out. You had to, or I had to make a decision whether it should be more this or that, and that's why I just use it very very distinct occasions to give it a bit of this background sound, like to give this impression to the audience that this is not like just a personal story of migration, but this is like really a big current, and there's a lot of people that had similar stories to this. So it was, maybe you can call it a bit of a safety net, looking in hindsight now, but that's the decision I made at that point. The interesting thing is, when you make a film, it's you evolve, but the film stops at that point. So of course, sometimes your opinion changes, but I still would say I would still stand by my choice to give it a bit as a personal story, but give it a bit of this more general societal aspect.
Okay. Well, I think we could stop if you
yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, thank you for your questions. I really enjoyed talking to you about this. I wish we would be in person.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
You know, this is not real a festival, but because the online festival is something very very different. It's important, but when the festival, it's the possibility to have an interchange, dialogue,
sure,
encounters, and
yeah, sure.
But
I mean, yeah, I know, but I really appreciate your effort, and I think you've been very I'm impressed by the organization. You know, everything is so neatly made by your team. So I want to give kudos to you and all your colleagues for being so quick with these decisions and all. I'm really impressed. Thank you.
We have a great team. Yeah.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah. Thank you very much.